You can have very low standards but want more out of life. And that's why this video is for you to raise those standards to match what you want out of life. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. I am Jessica, and of course, this is my channel. Okay, let's start off with, first I have a matcha. I kind of been drinking it when I was doing my makeup. I was on TikTok live. You can follow me on TikTok. Sometimes I go on live as I do my makeup and just chit chat with you guys. But yes, I have a matcha. The energy has been flowing, and we're ready to get into this, because today's topic is how to raise your standards, why you need to raise your standards, what happens when you raise your standards. Basically, you need to raise your standards. We're just gonna get right into it because this is definitely gonna be a juicy one, and raising my standards has actually changed my life. Like, literally, the friends I had in my life 5 years ago, they do not exist in my life right now for a reason. I had to raise my standards, sorry. And it's not saying that like you're better than people. Sometimes you just grow and you have different interests, and that's fine. You grow and maybe you're developing faster, you're more mature, that's fine. Not everyone is meant to be in your life forever. Also, the men I was entertaining, I was giving my time and energy to 5 years ago does not compare to my boyfriend now. That's just some tidbits. Tidbits? What's that word? You know the word I'm talking about, tidbits. But yes, we're just gonna get into the real deal right now, okay? Okay, so your standards are a reflection of what you will tolerate in your life. I want to say that there is nothing wrong with wanting more out of life. There's nothing wrong with feeling like you deserve more. There's nothing wrong with expecting more out of life. Like, if you want more out of life, you deserve to have more. If you feel like your standards are very low right now, it's okay to want more out of life. There's nothing wrong with that. And I feel like as women, like, we are so like, I don't know, scared to declare that like we want more, scared to be like, this is not enough for me. And it's not a bad thing. It doesn't mean that you're high maintenance. If you are, who cares? You know, you want what you want. This is your life. If you have certain standards and people aren't really upholding that, it's just causing you more harm in the long run. It doesn't do anything to that person because they are just who they are. But you know you have certain standards. You're accepting people into your life who are below those standards. That's on you. So ideally, you want to raise your standards in every aspect of your life. So your friends, your relationships, with yourself, like the way that you talk to yourself, the way that you look at yourself, the things that you say to yourself. If your standard is so low with yourself, like if you're treating yourself like shit, don't be mad when other people treat you like shit. You're the one setting the standards for yourself. So why should someone treat you better when you treat yourself like shit? I feel like that came off a little bit harsh, but it's like, the truth is the truth. When you start raising the standard with yourself and you start feeling more confident in yourself and who you are and what you what your purpose is in this world, the things that other people say about you or think about you will not break you. But when you're unconfident with yourself, when you keep telling yourself you're ugly, you'll never get this, I'll never do this, and you're just talking trash about yourself, obviously what people say about you will break you and you will believe it. One thing I did notice when I was very insecure, unconfident, and just like had very low standards in all aspects of my life, is that even when someone would say something small, like a small comment, maybe it didn't even like, wasn't meant to come off very like judgmental or whatever, but the fact that I was swallowed into my own insecurities, it made it seem like such a huge deal. So for example, in the past, I always used to call myself fat, like every fucking day. I don't really like this word on here, but I just did. You know, I feel like, every day I would just call myself fat, blah, 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 right? And if someone were to say to me, oh, I like your sweater, I'd be like, oh, my fat is coming out through this sweater, my love handles are out. I would take that comment and then twist it into the worst way possible, because I'm thinking I'm so fat, so of course everyone else is thinking the same thing too. Stay with me, because yes, I'm still talking about standards. So if I had high standards for myself and I was very confident in myself and I loved myself, if someone said, oh, you have a nice sweater, I'd be like, yeah, thank you. You know? So how you treat yourself is very important. The standard you set for yourself is literally the precedent for how other people will treat you. So now we're gonna get into how you are gonna start raising your standards. So first, you're gonna evaluate your life. In a lot of my videos that I make, it depends on the topic, but most of them, number one, will be evaluate your life. Because before you can change something or transform something or like have something be different, you need to evaluate where you are. That is number one. It's very hard to like just dive into changing some part of your life or some aspect of your life if you're not evaluating what is currently going on. You're gonna look at the topics I said earlier, your friends, your relationships, your finances, yourself. All of these topics, evaluate where your standards are. So the second part is when you're actually going to take a deep dive into these areas of your life. The first one is just like an overall umbrella. You're just looking at aspects of your life. Take it as like a bird's eye view of your standards. So now in the second one, you're going to be like, what is going on in these aspects of my life? So if we're going to go into relationships, do you keep entertaining men and or women and or them, they, you know, that are treating you like trash? Is that what you continuously bring into your life, even though you know that you want more, but your standard is very low? You can have very low standards but want more out of life, and that's why this video is for you to raise those standards to match what you want out of life. So another example is like with friends. Are you in a friend group and all they do is gossip and talk trash about other people, and they just like, they're generally not good people? I was very hesitant to say that, but some people just aren't good people, you know. Some people have good aspects, good traits, but if you're friends with people that just love to bring others down, that's the standard that you have in your life. Are you okay with that? If you know that you want better friends, you want more quality friends, friends that actually share the same interests as you, friends that you can actually do things with and share your life with, this is where you start to say, okay, maybe these friends aren't actually, you know, the best for me right now or ever, to be honest. It's just like with your finances. Do you have a habit of ordering out 4 times a week? Are you an impulse buyer? Are you constantly buying things because you're influenced from what people are saying online? What is your standard with your finances? In this step, this is where you take the deep dive and you're actually honest with yourself so you can see, where are my standards in my life? This is a 3-step process. So number 3, you're gonna rebuild your standards in these aspects of your life. So I just love using the relationship example or like area just because I feel like it can relate with a lot of people. But for relationships, if now you're like, okay, my standard is that I want someone that treats me like gold, like a queen, like a princess, whatever, someone that just respects me and treats me good. Whatever your standard is, everyone has different standards, you know. I want someone to be loyal to me, someone who doesn't treat me like trash, someone who actually replies back to my messages at a decent time, not 24 hours later, not 2 days later. Okay, so you got that, that's your standard, nothing less. So if you start talking to somebody and you're texting whatever, and then all of a sudden they're just texting you back like in 24 hours. They're hanging you dry, they're leaving you on red, they're like, honestly, I find that that's very disrespectful. Like, if you can't message me, just say, okay, literally can't talk, message you later. 24 hours later, what? This is when it's up to you to say, am I gonna repeat what I've been doing in the past, just keeping people in my life that do not uphold the standards that I have for myself? Or am I gonna actually be the bigger person and actually listen to myself and listen to the standards that I have for myself and say, you know what, this person is not doing anything for me, nothing beneficial, they're not meeting my standards, it's time for them to go. And just know that there are people in this world that will uphold your standards 100%. Something I do want to say is that raising your standards is an ongoing process. It's not like you raise your standards one day and then tomorrow everything is fine. Like, no, it takes time. And depending on what area of your life you're raising your standards on, you may be working on that daily. Like if you're working on your finances to have, you know, your standards to have good finances, be in a good relationship with money, not do all that impulse buying. Yeah, maybe every day when you're scrolling on TikTok and you see like a new makeup wipe, and you're like, oh, I should get that, when you already have enough. And sometimes you honestly have to think to yourself and be like, you know what, no, that's not my standard, that's not what I do anymore. I don't just impulsively buy things just because I like them, just because it's available to me. And now I want to get into the final part, which is the benefits of raising your standards. So first of all, when you raise your standards, you have people in your life that you can be open with, that you feel safe around, that you feel comfortable around, that you actually trust. And this is so important because you actually get to be like the authentic version of yourself. Because if you're like, these are my standards, you meet my standards, amazing. Now I can be open with you. Now I can be honest with you. Now I can actually share parts of my life with you. But you know, when you have certain standards and someone is not meeting them, it's like you don't want to be the real you around them. You don't want to be fully open around them. You can't really trust them because you're just like, I don't know how long this is gonna last. Like, you don't really meet my standards. Like, this is not for me. Yes, you may be a people pleaser and you're just like, you know, keeping a relationship with someone just to keep it with them, but you know the truth at the end of the day. Another benefit to raising your standards is that now you have control over your life. If this is your standard, I feel like I keep using this hand as an example. But anyways, let's keep going. If this is your standard and you're accepting people into your life who are all these people here who are below your standards, you have no control. You have no control. You have control over your life, and the people in your life are where you want them to be or higher, okay? When you accept people into your life that do not reach your standards, you have no control. They're running amok. I don't think I've ever said that sentence, but just the way it came out was so fucking funny. But yeah, they're just there, you know? And it's not fair to you because it's like you deserve more. You want more. So why don't you accept that into your life? And the last benefit of raising your standards is that it saves you so much time and stress. Okay, it saves you so much time and stress. Where I am now, okay, I don't, honestly, let me not lie. I have high standards, okay? High standards, not like crazy high standards, but for the people to be in my life, and that's fine. Like, I just don't want, no, I honestly just don't want trash people in my life. I just don't want people who, I don't want to say they don't think the same way as me, because I have a lot of people in my life who do not think the same way as me, but we have a mutual understanding and I understand them. So it's more of like, I don't know, like I'm mostly very optimistic, right? So I cannot constantly be with someone who's very pessimistic, okay? So that's like a standard I have in my life, right? If I'm like meeting a new friend, you know, I'm starting to get to know someone and she's like very like, like the world is dark and then just, you know the vibes, you know the vibe. I am that type of person now that will be like, okay, I cannot like hang out with this person because I'm not trying to like hang out with energy vampires basically. And you know what that means. If you're hanging out with people and you go home and you feel drained and depleted, watch that. All I'm saying, watch that, because like how you feel is very important. That as a ring light died, but now we're back. We're good. We're good. And once again, I'm off track, but we're gonna keep going. I'll tell you now, the amount of time and stress you're going to save because you have raised your standards and you're actually sticking to them will blow your mind. And honestly, it's a good thing because you're just weeding through people that aren't on the same page as you. And like I said in the beginning, it doesn't mean that you're better than them. That's not what I'm saying. I did not say those words. I'm just saying you're on different pages. If you're on different pages, different books, different chapters, different everything, gotta go. Gotta go. I really hope you guys got some helpful tips from this video. I'm telling you, raising your standards will change your life 100%. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. You need to raise your standards so that you can save time, have great people in your life, be less stressful, and not accept the people in your life that are honestly there just to, as I said in the middle of the video, run amok. Okay? If you have these standards and you want more out of life and you feel like you deserve more, that's amazing. Stick with them. Stick with them. Do not make yourself less just to make other people comfortable, just to make other people feel comfortable. You want what you want, period. Period, poo. Okay. The matcha is hitting. Do not forget to follow me on TikTok. We're here having fun, sharing lots of tips and tricks about self-growth, personal development, fear of judgment, all that good stuff. And if there are any other topics you want me to go into or dive deep into within the personal development field, let me know. Leave a comment down below. So yeah, thank you guys once again. Stay safe, stay healthy. I will see you in the next one. Goodbye. Every week it's something new. Today is jazz fingers, spirit hands, whatever they call them. Goodbye.